$80. That is what Nintendo wants for the privilege of seeing Kirby inhale a car in 4K. I'm Kyler Ray, and today we are reviewing the Switch 2 edition of Kirby and the Forgotten Land. We need to answer one very expensive question. Is this the definitive 60 FPS experience we've been dreaming of? Or is this just a pink tax designed to test how much money we're willing to throw at a cute mascot before we snap? Let's find out. First, we have to talk about the technical leap, because this is the only reason half of you are even considering double dipping. On the original Switch, Forgotten Land was beautiful, sure, but it ran at 30 frames per second. Whenever things got chaotic, like when you were fighting a boss that took up half the screen, the frame rate would dip harder than my bank account during a Steam sale. On the Switch 2, that friction is gone. We are talking a lock 60 FPS at 1440p docked. It is buttery smooth. The difference in input latency is actually massive. When you're trying to perfect dodge a Goromando stomp, that extra fluidity feels like you've taken off a pair of weighted training clothes. The colors pop. The lighting on the mouthful mode transformations look absurdly realistic, which is terrifying, by the way, and the load times are basically non-existent. You die, you're back. No time to contemplate your failures. But tech specs aren't enough to justify an $80 price tag or even the $20 upgrade fee for returning players. The real meat here is the Star-Crossed World expansion. When the news dropped on Reddit, people were very skeptical. The threads were full of people calling this cut content or a lazy cash grab, but having played through the 12 new Starry Stages, I have to disagree. This isn't just hard mode. This is a fundamental remix of the game's physics. The story hook is that a meteor impacts the ocean, scattering blue starlight crystals across the map. When Kirby interacts with these crystals, the level geometry shifts in real time. You'll be running through the abandoned mall, touch a crystal, and suddenly the escalators twist into slides, or gravity flips upside down. It feels like Mario Galaxy crashed into The Last of Us. It's inventive, it's trippy, and it legitimately messes with your muscle memory. And of course, we have the new mouthful modes. Nintendo's marketing team knows exactly what they are doing here. First, we have Spring Mouth. Kirby wraps around a giant industrial coil. You can compress yourself to launch into the air or slam dunk enemies into the pavement. It's satisfying in a very primal way. Then there's Gear Mouth. You become a cog. You stick to magnetic walls. It sounds boring, but the Switch 2 haptics make you feel every click and clunk of the machinery. But the winner is Sign Mouth. You inhale a wooden danger sign, you become a sled. You act as a ramp for Waddle Dees. It's the most humiliating transformation yet, and I absolutely love it. Now, let's get to the most important part of this entire video, the combat. The copy abilities in this game were already great, but the DLC adds a new evolution tier called Stellar Evolutions. Everyone has their favorites, but I'm going to save you some time. Here's the definitive, scientifically accurate Kyler Ray top 3. Coming in at number 3, Dragonfire. We already had Fire, we had Volcano Fire, but Dragonfire? This turns Kirby into a mythical beast. You get dragon wings for a double jump, and your breath attack leaves a sticky purple napalm on the ground that does damage over time. The range is deceptive, and the burn damage melts mini-bosses. Plus, watching a small pink ball sprout dragon wings is the kind of power fantasy I play video games for. At number 2, Space Ranger. This is the evolution of the Ranger ability. You trade the blunderbuss for a sci-fi laser cannon. The rapid fire is faster, but the charge shot? It creates a localized black hole that sucks in enemies before exploding. It's incredibly stylish, it keeps you at a safe distance, and it makes the screen look like a fireworks factory exploded. The best ranged option, hands down. And the number 1 spot, the king of kings, the Neomorph Sword. If you aren't using this, you are playing the game wrong. This takes the Meta Knight Sword concept and pushes it into anime territory. The blade shifts shape, it has a longer reach, and the dodge counter window is massive. When you hit a perfect dodge, you teleport behind the enemy for a critical strike. It makes you feel like a speedrunner even if you suck at the game. The Neomorph Sword is the Kyler Ray seal of approval choice, so just use it and thank me later. However, we need to take a step back and look at the business side of this, because I see a lot of you in the comments defending this pricing model. Stop it. Jim Sterling, thank God for them, wrote an article called The $80 Grift, and they aren't wrong. The marketing for this Switch 2 edition leans heavily on FOMO. They know that the hardcore fans, the people who buy the plushies and the soundtracks, are going to pay whatever they ask. If you are a new player, $80 is a steep ask for a platformer, even one as good as this. It sets a dangerous precedent for the generation. Are we going to see an $80 Mario Odyssey 2, an $80 Splatoon 4? Probably. And by buying this, we are voting yes with our wallets. I bought it, so I am also part of the problem. I admit that. But we have to be aware that this pink tax is real. That said, the game does offer value for the hardcore crowd in the form of difficulty. And this is where the Kirby lore nuts go crazy. Kirby games have a reputation for being too easy, right? Baby's first platformer. That is true for the first 80% of the game. But the Starcrossed World DLC introduces the Ultimate Cup Z EX. This is a boss rush mode that takes about 45 minutes to complete. There are no checkpoints. If you die at the final boss, you go back to the start. And the final boss, it's a lore-heavy nightmare that implies Kirby is fighting the concept of entropy itself. The difficulty spike is vertical. It demands you master those dodges and optimize your DPS. It's frustrating, it's unfair, and it's the most fun I've had with the Switch 2 so far. So what is the final verdict on Kirby and the Forgotten Land Switch 2 edition? If you are a casual fan who played it on the original Switch and felt satisfied, you do not need to buy this. Save your $20. Save your $80. The 60 FPS is nice, but it doesn't change the heart of the game. But if you are a completionist, a tech enthusiast who needs to see those high-res textures, or someone who just wants to see Kirby turn into a dragon and burn down a post-apocalyptic city, then yeah, it's worth it. The Starcrossed World content is high quality. The new abilities are broken in the best way, and the game remains one of the most charming titles Nintendo has ever produced. I'm Kyler Ray. If you enjoyed this review, drop a like and subscribe. It helps me pay off the $80 I just spent on this game. Let me know in the comments, do you think the price hike is justified or is Nintendo losing their mind? And seriously, try the Neomorph Sword. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.